Welcome, welcome, welcome to the lovely Late HP show with your favorite 5D mystic enlightenment functional adult. I'm going to start using that. My name is Maria. And that way, you know, woo woo, pseudoscience lady, not bullshit and not crap. But on that note, I was observing some of those lovely, not so securely attached individuals. Okay, so on that note, a person who knows emotional maturity doesn't mean that they have finished emotionally maturing, no, but they know the difference between entering into a relationship with an open heart versus shying away. And people who shy away, they're not away from relationships, but they have the whole trust break. So I'm going to leave it in the straightforward, and I'm going to do this because what I have noticed throughout my 43 years of life, and I'm going to say since I was 14-ish, I started the whole dating stuff, right? Okay, so as a lovely solo polysecure, I will tell you, I got here thanks to all of those who preceded. And while some talk about post-traumatic growth, for those of us who have an emotionally available window of welcome, basically my nervous system and my human being brain, not overwhelmed with emotions. And that's because some of us have a 3-year-old whole heart. So there's no shame button. And there's no heartbreak in the sense of I'm defective or any of that. And so on that note, I have what's called healthy self-worth. As a teenager, I thought it was confidence because I saw all these teenagers being unable to speak a truth. So be authentic from their heart. I was called either emotionless or too emotional, and neither really satisfied my own definition, which is I'm a human. I don't understand. Like, I would give these blank stares probably, which I still do as a grown-up, because I'm like, what? I don't know what you're saying. I really don't understand. So here's where I love one of my favorite friends. I mean, all of my friends are favorite. Well, some are more favorites than others. See, this is where we get into the whole mix of we love equally all because, you know, the oxytocin gene hormone is on. But this friend, he's special. And he's special because of his blunt, straightforward, and honesty. And that's because he has what are called, I'm going to use the nice word, guts. And so he has guts. And he also has the I'm not going to give 2 fucks. Let me tell you how I think, because what kind of a friendship is this if we don't tell each other to our face? This is why I love that Sadhguru quote about you're a shit. No, you're a shit. Fuck you, fuck you. He only says that true friendship is where you can basically use words with each other. Now he's, I'm sure, trying always to make sure that he spells it out. It's if you have permission, like when he was interviewed on some situation that happened between famous people. Let's go ask, hey Sadhguru, what do you think? So people like to ask people these types of questions, which any mature, emotionally speaking human being will tell you, yeah, we know what he's talking about. You don't need to be in the mountains to figure out how to be a grown-up emotionally. Thank you so much, though, Sadhguru, for being a guru. And that's because whether it is spirituality, spiritual, or sciences, it's all one and the same. Once you achieve this enlightenment soul age group, which is your ventral vagal nervous system, you and I, in our birthright, from the good therapists though, not the bad ones, in our restorative embodied self, it's called. So your body has a bunch of emotions that always come up. As I was saying, the mind, your left mode, chit chatter, the right is still working. However, they don't work together unless you put it into practice. Oh, emotions are coming up. Let me not shove them down with the inner critic, outer critic, and then drugs, alcohol, sex, food, the hyperactive, codependent type, compulsive, and a bunch more of heart being closed, which the person who has the closed heart, they will notice it because you notice when you have an emotional disconnect. According to every childhood trauma survivor who is healed, there's an awareness. And I know people, they know how to be aware. In fact, I have a very recent, beautiful conversation with one of my other favorite friends. I have all favorite friends. So I'm going to just say that, letting you know they're all favorites. That's because we love all equally. And see, the thing is, nobody can repeat or replicate any of these friends. So they can't be more favorite. They're just favorite because they have the guts, the balls, I'm going to say it, to be actual human being, mature emotionally, in this case, men. And some choose to be, I'm emotionally here, but I don't really want to be here with me. I'm going to be here and comfortable with you because you seem pretty cool and not judgmental, and so I can be myself and not be afraid of being rejected because you don't judge me. And it's very nice when people open up because they recognize you accept people to be their self. That's pretty straightforward. And in fact, it's true that some people are really not fun to be around. And I was a teenager and I was not fun to be around though, because I was a goody two shoes. No, I was I still am a smart human being is what I call it. It's enlightenment. It's saying if you drink too much or smoke too much or do anything too much, I think you're not thinking of your health. If you're talking like that, I think you're not no, I think you're insecure. All of the shame, blame, fault, revenge, it's all unresolved trauma. I didn't have the word as a teenager. I do as a grown-up. As a teenager, I'm like, you're really not doing great for your future, and I don't think your body's feeling really good either. I'm not sure you're doing the right thing. Are you going to get to, oh, you don't care about college. Are you going to get a job? Oh, you don't care about a job. You're going to have. So I'm trying to make a point here. For some people, we have the ability to understand different interactions. Obviously, here's where the individuals who need to be supported to understand why they're holding themselves back. They need people that are day to day to say, it's cool. You don't have to be vulnerable, but I can see you. Just so you know, I can see you. It's cool. Like with my friend, I said, I can see that your heart is closed off. It's cool. We're having fun. But don't bullshit me, shall you? Okay, so that's what happens when people grow up, in this case a woman, with men who don't know how to be emotional because they did grow up in a toxic masculinity. It's not just the manners of these big, which aren't so big. You know, when I see somebody poofing up, I'm thinking of a rooster, and I know cock-a-doodle-doo, however it is a bunch of smoke and mirrors, because that's not a big person to me. To me, a big person knows actually how to use this and how to use this. And what I've learned from every trauma expert is that this and this require a person to do. It's not emotional lifting, because the reality is you're first going to break down and cry. And once you cry it out in a really very vulnerable way with somebody who can help you understand there's nothing wrong with you, the defectiveness, shame, it's a defense mechanism, and you believe in it, because this is where we got the ancient silverbacks. They don't believe in it. And the ones who are not ready to do this exploration, they don't want to go this way. They want to be, because they're not soft. Okay, so when people are triggered, there are some of us who understand the trigger is not because they're actually evil. No. They actually have what's called unresolved trauma, emotionally speaking, in their body. Now that they can use words from stories that they've taken, well, there you go. That's great. But a securely attached human being who's empowered will not feel offended because you've used some kind of insulting word when you've reacted in a moment that makes no sense to a securely attached, emotionally mature, functional adult human being. Enlightenment soul age group is not because of the little mantles waving around or magic wands. It's because you have integration of the brain, which is being discussed by very smart people. I'm pseudoscience lady because I'm a mystic, and the woo-woo-ness is not provable. I don't need to prove it. Not here for that. The oversoul is a beautiful journey, and 5D mystics will have a pleasant time exploring it, which is why we don't talk about our loved ones as if they are discarded because they have emotional unavailability due to unresolved trauma that hopefully, we hope, in time they can see that they're beautiful just the way they are, and they can get enough space between their dysregulated, dysfunctional families, patterns, and households to see what healthy self-worth treating is like, which means I don't shame you, I don't blame you, I don't fault you, I don't do any of that, and I definitely will not do spite or revenge. I will speak to you like a grown-up and like a person who's here looking at me, and that will be always, not just sometimes. So no matter what you bring to me, it won't be a nasty behavior. It will be, you're stressed, I'm not. Let me try again, shall we? Okay, are you open-hearted? Are you vulnerable? Are you here? Are you with me? Are we building? Is this cool? Yeah, cool. Let's hug it out. No? Okay, let you have some more space. That's what happens when you're an emotionally mature person. You don't use categories like teenagers do. No, you use your mouth to enjoy your friendships and your relationships, and to understand that those who can move into restorative embodied self do. Those who have a challenge, well, there's many areas and venues they do. Therapy is one of them, and others, it's no, they stay over there. They don't want to come over here, and it's okay. We don't all have to be friends together. So be compassionate and loving. Tune on in for more.